My dad destroyed my future over his ego. Growing up, my dad loved telling people I was the smart one. He bragged about my grades to relatives, showed off my report cards to coworkers, and acted like my achievements were somehow proof of his parenting skills. But the second I wanted something he didn't agree with, everything changed. My senior year of high school, I got accepted into an amazing university across the country. It was my dream school. I'd worked for years to get in. Late night studying, scholarships, extracurriculars, all of it. When the acceptance email came through, I cried. My mom cried. My dad just stared at the screen silently. Then he asked, "So when are you declining it?" At first I thought he was joking. He wasn't. He told me there was no reason for me to move away when there was a perfectly good local college nearby. According to him, kids who left home became ungrateful, brainwashed, and selfish. I argued for weeks. Every conversation turned into a screaming match. He'd accuse me of thinking I was too good for the family while I begged him to understand that this was the opportunity I'd worked my entire life for. Eventually, I realized the truth. It was never about money. It wasn't about safety either. He just hated the idea of losing control over me. Unfortunately, there was one massive problem. My dad controlled all the finances. He refused to fill out financial aid paperwork unless I agreed to stay local. He withheld tax documents I needed for scholarships. Every time I tried finding another solution, he sabotaged it somehow. At one point, my guidance counselor even called him personally to explain how important this opportunity was. My dad smiled through the entire phone call and then grounded me afterward for embarrassing him. The closer graduation got, the worse things became. He started acting weirdly smug, like he already knew he'd won. And he had. Because a month before enrollment deadlines, my dream school revoked part of my financial aid package due to missing paperwork. Without it, I couldn't afford tuition. I remember sitting on my bedroom floor staring at the email while my dad watched TV in the next room like nothing had happened. When I finally told him I couldn't go anymore, he literally said, "Good. Now you can stop chasing fantasies." I ended up attending the local college he wanted. For the next 4 years, he acted like he'd done me a favor. Meanwhile, I became miserable. I watched friends move away, build lives, make connections, and become independent while I stayed trapped at home under his rules. Every tiny bit of freedom became an argument. The worst part is that from the outside, he looked like a supportive parent. Nobody saw the manipulation. Nobody saw how every decision had to feed his ego. Even now, years later, I still think about the life I might have had if he'd just let me go. And the thing that hurts most? I honestly think he'd do it again.